sorry. I was just clicking and clicking and clicking on things. I'm sorry. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, guys, first and foremost, I have quite a few different workshop opportunities for you to join me on. If you would like to join me, go to k33academy.com/store. In addition to that, specifically, I have an event this Saturday. It's a comfort care meditation. If you're having physical pain, emotional pain, you just want to hang out with me, perfectly fine. Come join me. k33academy.com/store/CCM. Now, getting to the reading. Okay, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is realizing lots of things. Ooh, lots of things. I'm saying, what's up? What are you realizing? What is it? I'm just saying, I need extra. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Michael said, you are extra. I know. Tell me something I don't know. I am extra. It's okay. Everything will be fine. Let me get cards for us. So, realizing lots of things. Maybe people are coming to understanding of certain stuff. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the cards tell us. It feels like aha moments are being had, maybe by you, maybe by someone else. It feels like, man, that's intense. It feels like almost like a gutted type feeling, but at the same time, you know, like if you've been backed up a little bit for some time now and you finally were able to purge that out, that's what it feels like. So it's kind of like, ooh, but at the same time, like, ah, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Do I need to slow down? I'm talking too fast, aren't I? I cannot help it. I cannot help it. I'm just, okay. Let me tone it on down. Tone it on down. Tone it on down. Tone it on down, down, down. Okay. Not too much though. Not too much toning. Final deck. Ooh, overcome. All right. So right away, overcome card number 10. There are things you need to overcome. A lot of your mindset. I'm serious. You're not allowing yourself to heal. You need to overcome this refusal to let yourself heal beyond whatever it is that has caused you to think badly of yourself. You got to shine. You got to shine. That's it. Reading's done. I'm joking. Let me finish shuffling this. One more shuffle. All right, there. That bottom of this deck. Diving for light. This reading is going to go real deep. You can't be in a space of superficiality and expect to experience a depth of abundance, right? You can't have it all your way, baby boo. Sometimes you got to let yourself go really, really deep. And if you're going to be afraid that you can't hold your breath that long, maybe the reason you need to go really, really deep is because you've forgotten that you don't need to come up for air. Deep is where you belong. Okay. So here, emotional winter again. Someone's going through this emotional winter stuff. They're feeling like they can't succeed in their desire to be in union. Oh. Okay, I'm not even going to get sour. I will spray my chest because I'm starting to get hives. Okay, spray my chest, my décolletage. So there's someone who is kind of feeling some type of way because they don't know how to overcome their fear that's preventing a union from taking place. Union with what? Union with who? I don't know. I don't know, but it's making me really itchy right or all up in here is what it is. It's just like, okay. Okay. Let's slow it down for real. This fear, this circumstance is not something that's going to be easily swept under the rug. If it was going to be something that you could easily sweep under the rug, I mean, don't you think you would have swept it away a long time ago? Would it have not already been swept away, right? If you're going to allow yourself to get into this space of holding the past and the lack of action against yourself, what's that going to do for you? You know, what does that do for you? What does itching mean? Well, it depends on the person. Are you having an allergic reaction? Or if you're like me, when I get all emotional in my response, emotional in my energies, I start to get hives. I start to itch as the hives begin to form. So, that's what that means for me. Getting emotional. So, this is not something that can be cleared away. Okay. You have to step into your full feminine power. Feminine power, in the truth of it, the whole totality of it, is a very powerful creative force. In addition to being very powerful, it's also very protective. There's this song. I remember I used to listen to it in high school, and it goes something to the effect of shock, shock, horror, horror, shock, shock, horror. The female of the species is more deadlier than the male. And it's true. It's true. You look at any species, and the female is typically just like more than the male. Okay. So you have to enter into this space where you're no longer rejecting your ability to really stand up for yourself. Okay. You're not a victim. Let's get out of that mindset. Let's not go anywhere near there. You are a co creator. If the people who are in your immediate vicinity are unwilling or incapable of co creating the types of circumstance, opportunities, environment that you are wanting and craving, then you need to co create with other folks. Bottom line. If you're going to continue to allow those people who are not compatible with you anymore to remain within your proximity, there's not going to be space for new things, new people, new co-creators to come and enter and help you co-create, right? So that's something that you need to begin thinking about. Realizing lots of things. What are these things? Well, you can fight your internal battle with a sword or a wand. The sword is about boundaries, right? And maybe realizing that some of the boundaries that you've been adhering to they're now serving as limitations. They're now serving as ways in which you are not allowing yourself to go forward, to move forward, to have any type of movement within your field. And then the wand is about your intentions and following through with those intentions. Now, there's this very real potentiality of still trying to conceal, trying to hide from yourself the very things that you need to really accept about yourself, about your trajectory, about what life is trying to bring to you. Um, I don't know if you guys realize, but life really conspires with soul. Life is the avenue, is the delivery method soul uses to adjust your positioning within yourself and your perception. The things that happen in your life are intended to shift you. If you're afraid of allowing things to happen to you, for you, you're going to be stuck in the same place. And clearly, you're not happy in that space. Because if you were, The cards that came out in the beginning of this reading would not have been the cards that came out at the beginning of this reading. I would not have received the messages that I received. It would have been presented in a different way. I would have seen things differently. The reality is, I sense discomfort, disbelief, misalignment. Masochism. You're punishing yourself. For what? Are you punishing yourself for the process that you're in? And you're not taking into consideration the process that you're in is the way it is because it's helping you to learn something about yourself. It's helping you come to specific types of conclusions so that you can close out old chapters, chapters that have carried on for far too long already. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should go get a massage. I'm serious. Maybe you should go get a massage, go get some body work or something, lymphatic drainage. I don't know. Maybe you need to get some body work done to start clearing out some of the built up um, emotional, mental, and even physiological toxicity that's kind of just stored in your body. Maybe there's a detox that's needing to happen. If you're going to do a detox, it's really good to get a lymphatic drainage massage because when you detox, your lymphatic system is what's going to be used as a precursor before it gets excreted. The toxins get excreted from your system. It feels like there's this belief that you might carry within you where you think that anything worth your time requires your suffering, and that's just not true. It's just not true. Like, unless it hurts, it's not growing you. Unless it hurts, it's not worth your time. That's not always true. When you can get into a space of flowing with the things that you need to flow with, sometimes it's not painful. Sometimes it's not even inconvenient. Sometimes it's something that just feels so perfectly aligned, right? It was just 100% at 5:55 with 13 minutes, 13 seconds on the clock. Yeah. Tremendous change is being ushered forward in order for a convergence to occur. Convergence maybe with another person or maybe with all of your parts, the parts of you that you've rejected, hidden away in your shadow aspects because no one gave you permission. Who told you that you need permission to be powerful? You kind of just are or you're not. And if you're not, it tends to be because you believed other people who don't feel powerful in their life and they need you to believe you're not as powerful because when you believe you're weak, it makes them feel powerful by way of you feeling weak. I think we all have our strengths, just like we all have our weaknesses. And I think at some point you need to make a decision of whether or not your perceived weaknesses will simply be precursors for rediscovery of strengths or if they will remain a weakness for the rest of your life, right? Congrats, Amy. During this spring, the process that you've been in is a very grounding one. It's a very humbling experience for many, right? Sometimes a grounding experience will be received or experienced by the person, perceived by the person, as though you're being buried alive. And that's just not true. No, the seeds of change are being buried, they're being planted. The more accurate term is planted versus buried, right? You don't need to be protected from the process that you're in. You need to realize this is the process to get you to the other side. It gets you to the other side of that fear. It delivers you. Ooh, to be delivered, right? Deliverance. This is the process that delivers you, that absolves you of these perceived sins. The whole concept of you're born a sinner just doesn't sit right. It's the process to learn a sin. And before you answer that, by whose standards? Whose standards are being used to define what is and is not a sin? The standards of another sinner? Right? So is that what you're using? A flawed person's flawed perception that was used as the basis for flawed standards. And you're using all of these flawed layers and levels to convince yourself that you're less than what you are, realizing lots of things, right? I think one of the first things you have to realize is the lack of trust you have in yourself, the ways in which you don't trust yourself, the ways in which you don't trust your soul. Your soul is how you communicate to divinity. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your knowing. You have to trust your ability to receive information in such a way that can really liberate you from this internal prison that you've been living in. It's almost like this back and forth daily of the ways in which you think you've failed, you think you're to blame for this and for that. That has to stop already. You know, those are such destructive cycles. You have to follow your own rhythm. You have to allow yourself to dance in and out of these different spaces within your thoughts, and allowing that free form dance, that unchoreographed, graceful movement to be the thing that really helps you to fall in love with the lines your body makes. As a former photographer, there's just something about the framing of a picture, the way you frame the image, the way the lines bring the eyes intentionally to the things that you want the viewer to pay most attention to. I remember, because I specialize in portfolio development for models who are newly signed with agencies. That was my specialty. And I remember I would teach these models how to pose. And oftentimes it would be a very uncomfortable position, right? Very uncomfortable. And I would tell them exactly what position to take. And as they take that position, I would tell them to exaggerate it. And oftentimes I would hear them say, like, but it hurts. Perfect. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And at first, they wouldn't understand why. They would think that I was just being so sadistic, like you just want me to hurt. Like, no, you have no idea the gravity of what we're creating. And I would show them a few frames, and then they'd be like, oh my God, exactly. Trust me. Put your trust in me. I can see what your body can do. I see you in a way that you've never seen yourself. Trust me. We are co-creating something just so absolutely ridiculously beautiful, powerful. But it doesn't seem like that when you're doing it. It just doesn't. I'll show you one of my most favorite images. Hold on. Let me see. La 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 la, bow to your partner. Then you turn around. Where is it? Here. This is one of my most favorite images. And oops, where did it go? Here it is. There. Love it. You know where this is? We were driving down a country road, and she was kind of a little bit skeptical, like, you didn't pre-plan where we're going to go. And I was like, don't worry about it. Just bring a whole bunch of clothes. I will put the clothes together, bring accessories, bring clothes, even things that you don't think matches. I don't want you creating outfits. I want you to bring pieces that make you feel some type of way. And I will put all of these clothes together, and then I will do your hair, I will do your makeup, and I will take you on location somewhere, and we're going to make pictures. And I remember I put her outfit together, and she's like, oh, but this goes with this. I'm like, not today, it doesn't. Not today, it doesn't. And there was no mirror, and I began doing her hair, and she was like, oh, but I kind of was hoping for this type. No. If you want mediocre pictures, you go to a mediocre artistic director. You went to me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And you're going to pose in the way I tell you, in the location that I choose. And you're going to see exactly how I see you. And so we were driving. I did a faux hawk on her, and she was just like, okay. She wasn't believing it. She wasn't feeling it yet. And then I was driving on this dirt road, and I saw a messed up fence. And I was like, this is it. This is it. And she's like, it's the side of the road. Yes. Let's get out. And as soon as we got out, the owner of that property let out their goats. It just so happened they were letting out their goats to graze. And that fence looks like that because those goats are for food. They're not friendly. I did not know this. They're not friendly, and they rammed the the fence. And then the owner came out, and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just taking pictures of my friend. And I took these pictures. And her face is like that because I said, show me how pissed you are with me. And at first she was sitting up, and I was like, no, bring your leg out more. Put your shoulder down. She goes, you want me to break my back? Absolutely. When it hurts, bring it down a little bit more, and then you'll know it's enough. And I did this picture for her. And then I showed it to her, and she's like, oh my God. Yes, boo, trust me. You can't see the way I see. You have to trust your soul in what it is creating for you. It is creating something that you don't quite grasp yet. And you will not get the full glory, the full bounty, the full whatever it is until you completely release the need to control. You don't even know what your soul is trying to give you. How could you ever possibly control that? So you have to realize a lot of the things that you're assuming about how things are supposed to play out and how this and how that. I promise you, soul has other plans. Soul absolutely has other plans. And if you try and control that, if you don't allow yourself to just flow with it, you might miss out on the biggest thing ever, the best thing to ever happen to you. You might miss out on that. That would be tragic. I look at my life and it's this thing of like, I didn't really think that my husband and I would continue dating for very long because I was moving several hours away. And it's kind of like realistically, you know, guys have a tendency to be out of sight, out of mind. He's going to live his life once I'm gone, and then that's going to be it. That was my assumption. It's just, that's it. Once I move, that's it. Right. And that wasn't it. That was like 24 or 25 years ago. It wasn't it. That wasn't the end of it. This crazy ass guy would drive over 3 hours one way just to sit in my apartment and wait for me to get off of work on the weekends. He basically was spending, I don't know, 5 hours with me on the weekend, and half of that 5 hours is me sleeping before I have to work the next day, right? Had I tried to control that and be like, "Listen, I know how this is gonna go because I know how guys are." Yeah, no, I would have missed out on the greatest thing outside of my children. I would have missed out on that. I would have missed out on learning exactly the type of love I deserve, the ways in which I deserve to be loved. I mean, that would be a tremendous loss. But I wouldn't know that, right? I only know that in hindsight because I can look back and be like, wow, gosh, this would have been the most catastrophic thing to lose out on. You don't know where your life is taking you. You don't know what you need to let go of in order to free your hands to receive what is the most appropriate for you, the most supportive and empowering for you, right? Free from judgment, free to love. All of these condemnations you have about yourself and your journey, and stop. You were just learning. You were in the process of learning. It wasn't a mistake, it was understanding causation and effect. And I'm not making excuses for you. I'm telling you the reality of what it is. It was you trying to control a circumstance you didn't quite understand. And so, yeah, there was going to be fumbling. There was going to be missteps. There was going to be all of these different perceptions of ways in which you're messing up. But in reality, are you messing up or are you being redirected by soul towards the very thing that could make you the most happy? Like, I know you're probably thinking, if you're here, trying to kind of get some guidance about a romantic connection that's failing, let it do what it's going to do. And if it completely bottoms out and there's nothing left to salvage, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet and you created the space for the right one to come forward. Now, the right one's not going to come forward until you become the right self that is ready and willing to receive the right one. If it's to do with business, again, you dodged a bullet. You're now being presented the opportunity to go down another pathway that has a higher viability, a higher success viability, a higher percentage of whatever it is you need. Whenever things fail, it doesn't feel like a failure to me anymore. It feels like, oh, I know I didn't know all the details and I tried to control things, but my life definitely told me, like, no, girl, we got you. We got you. You're not going to go that way. You're not going to wear that outfit. Because I've had situations where, I'm about to head out the door and it's a Maybe it's a fancy thing or an important thing that I have to go to, and I'm already dressed, and suddenly, I spill something on myself, and it's like, oh Lord, I need to change my clothes. I need to change. Hey, soul's got me. My soul has got my back, and it took me many years to come to that realization. And I hope that the process you go through to get to the same realization for yourself that I came to for myself doesn't take anywhere near as long as it took me. It requires you releasing allegiances to the very things that continue to sting you repeatedly. What you think you have, this perception that you have a honeybee, and honeybees are needed for the flowers to become the fruits and for pollination, and because bees are super important, right? They really seriously are. They are. Yeah, but here's the thing. You're telling yourself, um, this person is a necessary bee in your life, but they keep stinging you. A bee can only sting you once and then it dies. If it keeps stinging you, keeps hurting you repeatedly, honey, that's not a bee. That's a wasp. That is a wasp. Get it out of your life. Let it go. Don't try and hold on to that. Don't try and make a wasp a pet. That's just, no. Did you know some species of wasp eat meat? I remember I was having like a little shindig picnic over in Yosemite Valley. This was years ago. We went to Yosemite to have a little family picnic, and no one wanted to get out of the car. I was like, just pull over. We're going to lay down a blanket and eat surrounded by the trees and nature. No one wanted to get out of the car. I was like, you bastardos. I'm going to get out of the car myself. And I totally got out of the car by myself, and I laid down my blanket and had my sandwich. And I had the sandwich open because I wanted to put some mayo, and then I look down as I open my mayo squeeze bottle. I look down at my sandwich, and there's wasps cutting off pieces of meat from my sandwich. And of course, I started screaming because I'm scared of bugs. I'm not scared of demons. I'm not scared of large men. I'm not scared of abductions or anything like that, but I'm scared of bugs. That's right. And I was screaming, and then my mother and my husband was like, yeah, that's what you wanted. You wanted to be in nature. Now nature's in your sandwich. That's what my mother said. The only solution was to throw the whole sandwich, yeet it across the forest. I'm not joking. I had to throw the sandwich because when I was going like this to it, the wasps didn't care, but it sounded like it was making noises to call more wasps. And then there were more flying around. So I threw it. The whole thing. I threw it. And, sometimes what you want and this like visual that you have of what is in your best interest, what is the most beautiful, what is sometimes it's just not. I had this whole visual in my head about us as a little family with little toddlers sitting on the forest floor having a picnic. Yeah, no. After that, we went and drove to the picnic area because that's where you should eat. Yeah. Sometimes walking off the beaten path is not the best, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. There's a way to learn. Don't confuse learning with intentional self-sabotage. It's just one of those things, right? I needed to learn the hard way about wasps. They're not the same as bees. Absolutely not. Wasps can sting you an unlimited amount of time. Their stinger does not come out of their bottom. They just keep poking away, poking away, poking away. And certain varieties are extremely aggressive and they like meat. They were cutting up the meat. I'm not even joking. They had their mandibular, it was cutting up meat. I was grossed out. Card number 33, Heaven Sent. Some of the situations you're being sent right now, the situations you're being immersed in by your soul, whew, they're heaven sent, but they don't feel like it. Okay. In particular, I'm picking up on a situation that's very triggering. It might be triggering for you. It might be triggering for another person. It's triggering. There's a difference between being offended and being triggered. Are you aware? Because there's a difference. When you're offended, it's like you're offended, right? When you're triggered, it's not just being offended. It's that something has pressed the button to cause you to recall something you have experienced or maybe witnessed. And even your brain chemistry goes back to the same hormonal levels of when you experience that. It's kind of like PTSD, right? When you have PTSD and something triggers you, excuse me, you're right back there when the trauma first occurred. It's like you're reliving it. So whatever this triggering thing is, it's causing you to relive something in the present. And I don't think it's just some type of trauma. I think it's something that's been held in a holding tank. It's like you've been left in limbo and just kind of on a treadmill. And as you're being triggered, you're being brought back to the treadmill to realize you're on a treadmill and not really making any forward progress. You know? So you're going to need to allow yourself to receive the circumstance, right? To receive the awareness. Sometimes it requires you feeling triggered, but are you actually? I don't know. I don't know. You come from this legacy of light. That means you have a capacity and capability that you probably don't realize yet. Most of the ones who have like such tremendous capability, such tremendous potentiality, they have a tendency to be very humble about it. The ones who truly have the gifts, they have a tendency to be very humble about it because they don't really believe they have that gift. It doesn't matter. Whether you believe you have the gift or not, it's irrelevant. If you're gifted, you're gifted. If it's in your destiny to have certain types of achievements, you will achieve those things. They will happen one way or another. So just dream a beautiful dream. That way you can consciously begin creating the steps that will take you to the places where you belong, right? Part of what you're going to realize is how you've been very upside down in your emotions and how you haven't taken a time out from the ways that you condemn yourself, the ways that you look at yourself and treat yourself in a derogatory manner. You have a right to feel whatever emotion you feel. It's okay. Truly. It's okay to feel disappointed if something disappoints you. It's okay to be angry when someone does something that angers you. What you do because of those feelings, the behaviors you choose to engage in because of the emotions and your awareness or lack of awareness of those emotions is what will determine whether or not what you're doing is okay. For example, someone does something to really, really make me angry. And it's like this thing of I'm letting myself feel angry. That's fine. That's fine. Does that mean I have a right because now I'm angry? I have a right to go ahead and reach out and smack you? Absolutely not. What the hell do you think this is? The Wild Wild West? No. You don't get to take your leather glove off and smack people just because you're mad. This is not some freaking olden times French duel. What the hell's wrong with you? You can't do that. I mean, unless you don't care about what happens in response to what you just did. See what I'm saying? There's times where my children want something. They want to go somewhere, they want to buy something, they want me to do something for them, and it doesn't pan out in the way that they're wanting. Okay. You can feel disappointed. You can have a disappointed look on your face. Can you be rude to me about it? No, that's not justifiable. Can you express to me in a respectful way, like, I'm really disappointed. I was looking forward to spending time with you today, mommy. Um, I'm disappointed that you can't just blow off your session or the live stream or whatever it is. I get it. I understand. It is disappointing, and I'm sorry I disappointed you. But, it's kind of, it is what it is right now. Maybe later we can do something, right? Like my kids are allowed to express that they're disappointed or frustrated, but you can't be directing your wrath at me because you didn't get your way. I don't think so. I don't think so. You can't be trying to cuss me out because you'll have a real consequence for that. Oh, I'm not joking with you. If I don't do that to you, you sure as hell are not going to do that to me. Right? So that's the thing. If soul does not disrespect you and disregard you in the way that you disrespect and disregard soul, I mean, do you really wonder why sometimes soul will engage certain types of events and experiences that leave you feeling like you have no other choice, that your free will was taken from you? I mean, there's certain things that are for your greater good. And just because you don't see it yet does not mean you necessarily are entitled to deny that, to prevent that from happening. Um, a good example of this is I'm actually naturally very introverted in real life. I don't like sharing my thoughts. I There's plenty of times where my husband will introduce me to new people and I will play along with the niceties of, hi, I'm his wife. And that's about it. You're not going to get me to engage in conversation or any of that. I'm just going to nod and smile politely. And, that's just kind of how I am. And the last thing I ever wanted to do was live stream because you don't know who's watching you. They're all strangers. Right? That's how I felt. And so my soul had been telling me for, I don't know, maybe 6 months, 6 months that I needed to live stream. That's when live streaming first was rolled out on Facebook, and I didn't want to. And so one thing after another occurred, and it was like, okay, now I've been live streaming for how many years? That's fine. I still don't really want to live stream, but it's gifted me with a beautiful community of you guys. And now it doesn't seem so bad. It doesn't seem so bad to just be who I am and share my thoughts with my community that's open to hearing my opinions. Because that's all they are, just opinions, right? I'm not going to be shamed. Sorry. I'm not going to be shamed or called weird or any of those things. I'm just existing, and it's okay. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. And it gave me so many different opportunities to be able to help other people and connect with people who are important to my journey. And I didn't even know. Like today, I had a session with an amazing person who, um, it was just amazing. I don't want to share details. I want to keep that between me and the person, but it was amazing. The realization, the remembrance, all of that, it just felt good. It felt really good. It felt right. It felt like home, right? Did I know that that would happen today? Not a single idea. Nope. Nope. Today has been rushing, 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 and just hurry up, hurry up, right? I didn't know that that's what was in store for me today. It was a very beautiful surprise, an amazing and very much cherished gift of a moment. It's wonderful. If you don't know what your self worth is, be honest about not knowing. Rather than assigning yourself a value that's not in alignment with the actual truth of how valuable you are. You know that saying, fake it till you make it? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Fake it till you make it. Like, lie to yourself until you believe the lie. No. Do it until you are it. Put the action behind the desire, bring it to fruition, make it happen for yourself. Don't fake it till you make it. That's how you convince yourself that you are a liar. That is how you convince yourself that you are less than what you actually are. And oh my God, if someone happens to realize, why do that to yourself? There's no point. If I don't know something, I'll be like, I don't know. Let's look it up. I remember there's this one person that I once knew who would try and pretend that they know everything. And like they were modeling their business after mine, which I didn't really have any problem with it. If I'm gonna be honest, I didn't care. But I remember one day, so they began offering like mentorships, right? Because I was offering mentorships, and they began offering mentorships as well. And then like we had quite a few clients that booked sessions with both of us. And I remember one of the clients was like, so and so is such a lying sack of caca. I was like, what? I didn't think it was amusing at the time. I was just like, what? What happened? And they're like, I booked a mentorship with them. And I was like, okay. And what's going on? And the person was like, you know what? They totally just Googled all of this bullshit information, printed it out, and was reading it to me. I could have just read that shit on my own. I was like, well, did they give you any insight? Maybe maybe they were just kind of like trying to set the stage for the information they would share with you about yourself. And the person was like, no, they didn't share any information. They were literally reading what they Googled. And I was like, ooh. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I'm not going to invalidate your experience, but I mean, that's still an associate at the time. I'm not going to talk shit about them to the client. There's no point in faking it till you make it. Because I promise you, the people who you're trying to impress, they already know you're faking it. That's why they don't respect you. and are not impressed by you. You know what's impressive? Authenticity. Not manufactured authenticity. I mean, really, truly being an authentic person, someone who is relatable because you're real, not because you carefully curated a character and the characteristics and the mannerisms. You will never have anything of substance when you fake it till you make it. Make it to where? The Liars Hall of Fame? No. Be it. Keep plugging away and plugging away and plugging away until one day you look at yourself and you're like, hey, that's me. Mhm. Do it till you are it. Just keep going. Not keep going like running away from the things that challenge you, the things that cause you to question your perception. Those are moments gifted to you by soul, by way of life, so that you can be aware of what you are consciously choosing to participate in. That is how you take your power back, by no longer just following the trends, following what other people are telling you to do. No more, none of that. No, 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 absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's about taking accountability for the ways in which your perception has really distorted the way you treat yourself, right? Realizing lots of things. When you see yourself as less than, you then are willing to accept less than behavior, right? Okay. One time, my husband recently was joking around with me, and he was totally just joking around, but I was not in a joking mood. I wasn't in a bad mood, but I was super lost in my thoughts, and I forgot what he said to me. He was totally joking. He was like smirking, waiting for me to laugh with him. And I looked at him. I'm like, I am your fucking wife. What the hell are you saying to me? And he's like, I'm joking. And I was like, okay. It's not that I can't take a joke, it's that I wasn't in a joking mindset. And when I'm not in a joking mindset, no, I will not accept being spoken to in any which way you feel. And he didn't call me names or anything like that. What the hell did he say? I don't remember. He was clearly joking, though. He was even smiling, waiting for me to laugh. No, no. And he was like, I'm sorry. I was joking. Yeah, no, I'm not going to accept treatment that's less than what I know I deserve. Right? I'm not perfect, but I know the caliber of wife that I am. And no, I will not. No, there are certain things like, nope, no way. And I'm very blessed because my husband never disrespects me, never intentionally disrespects me. Why is that? Because I've never allowed him to have the opportunity to think that I will accept that. And because he loves me wholeheartedly and cherishes me, he does not do things intentionally that will hurt me, disrespect me, disregard me. So this is about understanding that, sometimes the things that you accept, the subpar treatment that you accept from the people in your environment, it's been programmed into you because your environment has conditioned you to think that you're being difficult if you speak up, that you're being difficult if you have standards. And I don't know that you're being difficult. it might mean that you're not in the right environment. Oh, there was a post. Hold on. It was a beautiful post. Let me find it because I shared it on Facebook. Okay. A violinist played for 45 minutes in the New York subway. A handful of people stopped, a couple clapped, and the violinist raised about $30 in tips. It's in a few hours, 45 minutes. He raised $30 in tips. No one knew this, but the violinist was Joshua Bell, one of the best musicians in the world. In that subway, Joshua played one of the most intricate pieces ever written with a violin worth $3.5 million. And 2 days before, he played in the subway with, again, not many people appreciating his skills. Joshua Bell sold out a Boston theater, and the seats averaged about $100 per seat. The experiment proved that the extraordinary in an ordinary environment does not shine and is so often overlooked and undervalued. There are brilliantly talented people everywhere who aren't receiving the recognition and reward they deserve. But once they arm themselves with value and confidence and remove themselves from an environment that isn't serving them, they thrive and grow. Your gut is telling you something. Listen to it if it's telling you where you are isn't enough. Go where you are appreciated and valued. It's not enough to be tolerated in the environment that you're in. Do you know what caused me to blossom into the person I am now? I left an environment that couldn't understand my value, couldn't understand the gravity of me, an environment that had a tremendous reach, about 500,000 organic reach, and would use me as a novelty. And I allowed it. For a couple years, I allowed it. And then the environment, when they could no longer do that, they turned on me. They villainized me. Where I was once seen as an amazing person, super generous, super kind, very sweet, I was suddenly being depicted as the villain. Because why? Well, because they could no longer get what they wanted from me. And all it took was one person planting the seed. That was the greatest gift I've ever had from a stranger. That was the single most greatest gift I ever had. Because of that, which snowballed into full-on cyberbullying, an attempt to cyberbully me, it caused me to make a decision to remove myself from a platform that I had built all the way up to a 500,000 profiles. My reach was 500,000 organically. I went to YouTube because fuck that shit. I don't need that. I'm a good person. All I want to do is help people. I don't want drama. I don't want to be treated poorly. I don't want to be used anymore. So fuck all of it. I know I still have to live stream. I'll go to YouTube. Whatever. Didn't tell anyone where I was going. If you're watching me on Facebook right now and you're like, oh my God, is that why you disappeared for a couple years? Absolutely. That's why. And you know what happened when I removed myself from the environment that caused me to continue to remain in the same cycles of self-hatred, self-loathing, self-sabotage? I then was placed in an environment that has the capacity to accept me as I am. I didn't create a community. A community was drawn to me. People who had resonance with me were drawn to me. And that's what became the community we have now. You notice this place is unlike any other place on social media. This is the place where you feel like home. This is the place where you don't have to be afraid. This is the place where you don't have to be ashamed. Why? Because one day, a couple of years ago, I got sick and tired of playing small. Because no matter how small I played, it still wasn't small enough for the people who didn't like the fact that I shine. And here I thought I was just weird and different. Little did I know people were seeing me as something that shines. And it was a threat to them. Why? Well, because they're dull. In their eyes, they're dull. And when they put themselves beside me, again, in their eyes, they look even more dull. And I'm over here thinking, we're all equal. We all love each other. We're spiritual. Yeah, not everyone shares your heart. Not everyone shares your heart. It's going to be okay. You can still have that heart. You can still love people. You can still encourage, empower, inspire, but you have to know who you're doing this for. Because not everyone is worthy of what you're giving. No, that's not a mean thing to say. It's a truthful thing to say. And we live in societies where people are so accustomed to lying just so your feelings don't get hurt, that when you hear someone speaking the truth so unapologetically, it sounds rude. No, it's truthful. I'm finally okay with being seen as rude. I don't care. One thing you'll never be able to call me is a liar, though. You can call me all kind of different things. I really don't care. But you're never going to be able to accurately label me as a liar because I'm not. I'm not. So, when you remove yourself from the very environments that cause you to think that you are a liar, one of the biggest lies I thought I was telling myself was that I'm a good person. I didn't feel like I was a good person. Is it because I did bad things? No, it's because I always was made to feel like whatever I do is not enough, that I need to give more, that I need to do more for everyone else's benefit to atone for me existing. Why? To this day, I've never screwed anyone over. And I'm 40 something, 40, I don't know how old I am. 44. I'm 44. I'm 44. I've never screwed anyone over. Not a single time. I've had people who try to use me and accuse me of screwing them over because they couldn't get their way with me. Like I was just like, I'm good. No, thank you. But did I ever screw anyone over? Nope. Not a single time. So when you exist in environments that condition you to continue perpetuating the lies someone else told you, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. You deserve to exist in the way you were created, to exist in peace, in love, stillness. If all you want to do is help others, I mean, what's so bad about that? If all you ever do is make sure you are available to help other people, you'd think that no one else would be able to say bad things about you. They can say things that aren't true. The fact still remains, it's not true. I've long since stopped trying to explain myself, explain why things went this way, why I said what I said, and no. You're hearing gossip about me? Someone's telling you something ugly about me? Okay. Do you believe it? Yeah. Go on then. Well, you're not going to try and convince. Why would I try and convince you? You clearly don't have a willingness to see me. I let you see me. This is the space where I let complete strangers see who I am. If you can't see I'm intrinsically a good person, it's not a loss. Believe the lie. Go ahead. It's no biggie. You being here, it's not going to serve me. As a matter of fact, you being here will do nothing but taint the sacredness of my space. By all means, believe the lie. I'm not even going to tell you it's a lie. I'm just going to be like, oh, that's interesting. And I'm going to leave you be. Never going to open any of your messages again. I'm not, no. It's one thing to come to me and be like, hey, someone's talking shit. And like, girl, I know that shit ain't true. And it's a whole nother thing to be like, can you explain this? Like, why are they saying that? Who gives a fuck? They're a liar. You don't see who I am? That's okay. This is not the place for you. If you can get to that point where you realize the people who would believe the ugly things that people say about you, it's not a loss to you, your life will become so much more peaceful. I remember, family dramas, right? One relative was saying a lot of stuff about one of my cousins. And then another cousin, they're all gossiping. It's like a family party. Another cousin comes up to me. He's like, hey, did you hear about what so-and-so did? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, what do you think? Oh, obviously it's a lie. And they're like, you think? And I was like, you believe it? And they're like, well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm like, come on. You know that cousin. Duh. You know that cousin. Do you think that cousin screws people over? Have you ever known that cousin to screw people over? And they're like, no. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Why do you believe that then? Well, but yeah, you're fucking stupid. That's exactly how the convo went. They're like, well, no, you're right. Yeah, no. I'm like, that's drama between them. Leave it at that. You know that cousin does not screw people over. And that was that. I didn't need to go back and forth. No. Some people are just fucking weird. They say shit that's not real. That's not true. Oh, well. If I know your heart, I know your heart. And I don't need to be back and forth with like, oh my God, did you do that? Like, nope. Nope. If you were to come to me and tell me something like, oh my God, I saw your husband with another girl at the park, I'd be like, oh, you saw someone that looked like my husband? No, it was him. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's not. I know who he is. I know his character. I can tell when he's not happy with the environment, with the situation, whatever it is. And I address that when I see that. There's no reason for him to go anywhere else for anything. I know his heart. There's nothing that his heart has told me that causes me to believe that what you're saying is true. Let yourself develop your intuition to the degree that you can speak with confidence about what you feel, about what you know about yourself and know about other people. You see, once upon a time, I realized this, right? It took me a long time to realize this. Once upon a time, I would get intuitive hits about people and their intentions with me. And I would totally be like, oh my God, I'm being so mean. Oh my God. No, they're not like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm watching you, Emmy. No, I used to totally like, oh, they're not like that. Oh my God, why am I being so mean? I need to give them a chance to prove me wrong. Ask me how many of those people have proven me wrong. Not a single fucking one. Not a single one. And every single time I've tried to gaslight myself into believing that I'm being mean because their soul is broadcasting to me that they have covert, malignant intentions. I've screwed myself over. I've gone through some really unnecessary BS. And so now I absolutely believe myself. Now I feel some weird kind of vibe from you. Okay, I'm sure you're a good person. You're just not going to be a good person towards me. So I'm going to leave that alone. It's okay. I'm sure you're a good person. Just something about me sets you off in some way. And I'm going to leave that alone. I don't even need you to prove anything to me. I believe you the first time. I believe you the first time your soul broadcasts to me that you are unhealthy for me. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because I used to like, oh my God, no, no, they're a good person. I'm sure they're a good person. I had to shift it. I had to manually shift my mindset and my perception. I had to be very, very honest with myself. I'm accurate AF reading people. I am very accurate. I don't like it though. So the issue is not with my accuracy. The issue is with my continued low grade rejection of my capacity to read people. It's okay. We're working through that. We're working through that. I have no problem reading people who pay me to read them. You're paying me for a service. Of course I should read you. Um, Random people in my day-to-day life, not so much a good thing to me. I feel like you should have your privacy. I feel like, it's a violation of your sovereign space if I'm looking all up in your stuff. And, it's just one of those things. I don't want to be that. So I'm still working on it. It's okay for you to acknowledge what you're still working on within yourself. It's okay for you to not have a full grasp on the reality of how good of a person you are. Sometimes things have to be done in steps as part of a process, right? Sometimes that's what's healthy. Compassion. You need to have compassion for yourself. You need to understand that even as you're going through the healing process is not always going to be something enjoyable, because guess what? When you allow yourself to release your hold on these toxic portions, people don't really like to talk about this. You still go through a very difficult process of grieving the loss of the person you thought you were. Feels like a death of ego. Sometimes you need to go through a grieving process because you maybe really thought that was you, only to realize it wasn't. And it's this thing of, have some compassion, allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to release, maybe through tears, maybe scream in a pillow. I don't know, eat some ice cream, grain-free brownies, cassava flour pizza. I don't know. Maybe I'm mourning something. I don't know, but I've been eating so much. The past few days, I've been eating a ton. And it's okay. It's okay. There will be periods where my body will feel like I don't need to eat anything, right? Or I'll have maybe a couple bites of something for the whole day and I'm just not hungry. And there will be days where I can't stop eating all effing day. And that's okay too. It's what do I need? Some of the realizations that we need to have is that your needs fluctuate. You're not a linear thing. You are a very complex, dynamic force of nature. Your needs change on a day-to-day basis, sometimes an hourly basis. So I give my husband so much credit because I don't know how this man wrangles me. I remember I was pregnant. This, so that's the disclaimer, okay? I was pregnant. I was pregnant and I was just so mad. I didn't know about what. And he was trying to comfort me. I don't even think I was mad at him. I don't know. He was trying to comfort me and he was trying to hug me. And I was like, I need space. I need space. You're smothering me. Whatever the hell I said. And then when he stopped, he's like, okay, fine. He stopped hugging me. I was like, I just need a hug. I needed a hug because since he gave me space, I felt like I just was not being hugged enough. I don't know, y'all. I'm fun to deal with. I am fun to deal with. Okay. He is a master at Emmy wrangling. I didn't even know why I share that anymore. Anyways, integrity in reverse. Yeah, no, there's it's so fun. It's fun. I'm fun sides. It's fun. I'm trying to convince you guys it's fun. I'm totally like gentle gaslighting. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Gentle gaslighting. Oh shit. Oh my god, am I a narcissist? Jesus Christ. Girl, don't even start this cycle again. Whew. Okay. Anyways, integrity in reverse. Sometimes you saw that whole process, right? That was a real process right there. Yeah, no, don't lose your integrity. That's inception, thought inception. That's when something tries to just inject this seed of a moment where now you're like, oh my God, am I a horrendous person? I think I might be a horrendous person. No, no. I maintain I'm still a good person. Because if I wasn't a good person, my husband wouldn't love me the way he does. You see that right there? This recognition that I deserve the love he gives me, that it's a reciprocal thing. His love is confirmation of my goodness because he is a healthy man. He has a healthy mind. He's not drawn to toxicity, to toxic people. He doesn't like that kind of stuff. I didn't even realize the levels of healing that I'm reaching. That just dawned on me right now. It's a process. It's a process. And you have to be gentle with yourself as you go through that process. You know, granted, not everyone is lucky enough to have someone who loves them in the way my husband is able to love me, where he can create such a safe space for me to be who I am and process a lot of my life's wounds, right? And he doesn't do this intentionally. It's just how he is, who he is. Even if you don't have someone to do that for you, that doesn't mean you don't deserve it. That doesn't mean you can't begin to do that for yourself. All you have to do is find more courage than you have fear present in this moment. You don't have to be devoid of fear to be able to move forward, to be able to make the next step in your healing process. You do have to communicate between the self and the soul. You have to allow that communication to take place so that you can get the guidance from within. My videos are not meant to serve as like a field guide of how to human healthily. It's not. The videos, my content, it's energetically structured to be confirmation for the messages, the guidance you're already receiving naturally from your soul. That's how it's supposed to be used. So if you're like, well, wait, what? But what is soul telling me? That's the problem. You've forgotten how to connect with yourself. You've forgotten how to connect with your soul. If you work on that, you'll get through quite a bit. You'll cut through a lot of the unnecessary BS that you would need to sift through, parse. You'd cut through a lot of it, and you just gotta allow your process to unfold. So some would be like, you just gotta keep holding hope. Hope, my understanding of it, is that you are still staying in a space of thinking you can't do it yourself. So you're holding on to the hope that something outside of you will step in on your behalf. Allow yourself to reach a point of gnosis where you no longer have to hope. You know everything will be fine, everything will work out, because you are capable of finding solutions to implement. And you will implement those solutions and you will reach a point of resolution. Now is the time to begin the process of letting go the infancy of your consciousness. And you have to let go of that infancy to create the space for you to step into the young adulthood. You're being asked to transcend the limitations that you've believed your entire life. You know how you do that? You open your hands and let go. It doesn't even matter which finger you release first. All you have to do is open your hand. All you have to do is relax. Once you do that, the chains that you hold on to that keep you bound to the same circumstance, the same mindset, the same pain that has tormented you for so freaking long, yeah, you just naturally rise to the surface. On the surface of your awareness, you become aware of how capable you are. You begin to really, really, really know, like, you know what? I've been through a lot of things in life and I get through all of it. I'm pretty sure I'll get through this. I don't know how. I don't know how I will. I don't know when. I don't know who I need to call or involve or whatever. But I just know. I just know that I can and I will. start knowing yourself. You literally have gone through everything your life has brought to your door. All the way up to this point, you have gotten through everything. Oh, but you don't know my past, Emmy. I don't need to know your past. The fact is, it's in the past. That means you've gotten through it. That means you've gotten through it. And that's the thing. Like, what is this thing that we do where when someone acknowledges our value and our capabilities, we feel the need to explain to them why they're wrong, why they have misunderstood us. You know, that's rude, right? Talking to myself too. I do that too. Where it's like, "Oh, Emmy, you're wonderful." "Oh, no, I'm not. It's just that, girl, knock it off. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Thank you for seeing me in a way that I'm not yet able to see myself. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of the progress that I've made through my life. I'm not able to acknowledge it fully, and your comment, um, your your compliment is helping me to better realize how much I'm growing through the, you know what I mean? Like, stop trying to explain why they're wrong and they see you wrong and they're not accurate in their perception of how amazing you are. They'll shake you by your shoulders. You don't need to be shook. You don't. What you need is a hug. You need to be hugged and held gently so you can remember what gentle feels like. You need to be spoken to in a soft manner so that you can understand you've been yelling at yourself this whole time and it's unnecessary. It is so unnecessary. Go back to your point of center. That's the point where you can see everything with clarity, minimal distortion. As we live our life as humans here on earth, there's going to be plenty of distortions. Those distortions are allowed to occur and be recognized by you so you can realize the distortions you carry inside of you. When you're allowed to see external distortions, it usually is to trigger an awareness of your internal distortions. Have gratitude for that. It's not your soul trying to show you how you're messing up. It's not your soul bringing yucky people to you to remind you that you're a yucky person. There was a time where I used to question, because, there's that belief that when someone triggers you or annoys you, it's because they're a reflection of you. And I used to think so deeply about this. Like, what about people who are assholish? You know, like they're really, ugh, those people. Like, am I being triggered because I'm like that and I don't realize? Oh my gosh. I used to really freak myself out over this. Like, oh my gosh, is this how people receive me? Am I assholish like this? And then I realized, like, no, I'm being shown that because I was assholish. I was. I'm not anymore, not to that degree. And my soul is reminding me why it's important to never return there. I realize that some people will irritate me because these are the people who are the reflections of the spaces that I once occupied. And it's not that like I was a horrible person then, it's that, okay, I recognize I've grown. I'm realizing, oh, I was irritated with the way I was. It was a trauma response. Those behaviors, they're trauma responses. Okay, I get it. I'm working through a lot of the trauma now. I'm still traumatized, but I'm working through it. I'm actually making progress. So then comes the next card, Celestial Teacher in reverse. What if all this time you're waiting for an external teacher when all along your teacher has been inside you this whole time? What if? What if? What if you have the same hangups that I do? I have this weird, or I had this weird hangup of people considering me a teacher. I was like, no, I'm not a teacher. This is how I look at myself. Like, no, yes, I am. Yes, I absolutely am. What's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with that is that it would require me to acknowledge elevations in my understanding and capacity to apply that information in a tangible, appropriate, and accurate manner. It would mean I would need to acknowledge my actual capacity. And now I've gotten to a point where, whether I acknowledge my capacity or not, I do real damn well helping others to understand things that they might struggle to understand. I don't know everything, but I can help someone learn more. And by definition, that's a teacher. So that's what I am. I teach, and it's okay. Me identifying myself appropriately as what I actually already am is not me being cocky and trying to flex as though I'm superior. No. Because without students willing to hear, you're no longer a teacher. You're just someone who knows things that no one else wants to hear. The value in the teacher is the student. And I had to come to terms with that. That me accepting an appropriate label, one that accurately describes a part of my function, is not a bad thing. I don't like labels at all. The only labels I've been willing to allow to be affixed onto me and my identity is mother, wife, teacher. That's it. That's it. It's okay for you to receive what is rightfully yours, what has been rightfully earned. And if that's a label that helps to describe the gravity of you, accept it. Accept it. All right, guys, we're coming to a close. I want to take a nap. We are coming to a close. Okay. Yeah, nope, not wanting to see. Not wanting to see. Uh-huh. Blu-ray awakening in reverse. Yep. The intentional blinding of yourself. It's not helping you awaken to what's going on in your life, right? It's definitely a thing that needs to be corrected. If you're aware you're doing it, you definitely need to correct that. Not because you're horrible. You need to correct it because you need to allow yourself to exist in an environment where you don't feel horrible about yourself. Right? So, awaken gnosis. This is about awakening your knowing, your perception of yourself, your knowledge of what you can and cannot handle while still maintaining an openness to allow your soul and your life to surprise you about an increase in your capability, right? Um, ooh, ooh. Arcturian activation. You're really being encouraged by soul to begin your healing process. It's important. You need to allow yourself to heal. Stop ripping those wounds open just so you can analyze how much you've healed. That creates nothing but an opportunity for massive scar tissue and a keloid to form. Yeah. Scar tissue is very, very difficult to address. Yeah. The process of addressing scar tissue can be very painful. Very, very painful. But I mean, it's worth it. My husband had an injury on his a part of his body, and it had been injured for like a year, 2 years. I think 2 years. I don't know. It's been a while, right? It's been bothering him for quite a while. And so when we saw my brother, um, my brother offered to work on it, and this is his specialty. And so he he fucked his ass up. If you don't know the process, you're gonna be like, he fucked his ass up. My brother completely destroyed that scar tissue, the adhesions, all of that. He created a very painful circumstance that serves in the end. It's painful. When you get real body work done, it's fucking painful. But it breaks down the blockages, the adhesions, the scar tissue, all of that. It breaks it down and it gets reabsorbed by the body, and it gives it the opportunity to truly heal. He was bruised AF. Ooh, you see this? That's body work. They're breaking down my shit. I was like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I was, ooh, that's the sounds that were coming out my mouth. The faces, the way my toes were curled. It's not for relaxation, it's for healing. True, genuine healing requires hands-on manipulation of the wound. There's no way around it. There is no way around it. You can pretend that it's okay. You can put a pretty bandage on it. I promise you the infection is spreading. You're being poisoned from the inside out. You deserve to heal. And sometimes in that healing, you'll experience a pain you never thought you could willingly take. You're worth the process that you're in. The process that you're in is bringing you back home to yourself. It's helping you to realize you deserve so much more than what you're allowing right now. It's hard. It is. But when you allow the proper processes to take place, that healing can accelerate. It can absolutely accelerate. It can become something that after you're finished with the experience and you've gotten through most of that healing, you then are like, man, that was worth it. It was worth it. Right? It was worth it. Invoke the Oraphim. You have entitlement to a type of protection that's been allotted to you by divinity itself. This level of protection is very high. It's not given to everyone. The Oraphim, it's a very specific group. And it's this thing of you need to know when you need to allow. You need to know when it is time to let go. You need to know when you should hold on tighter. You need to know how to properly cherish something. A lot of the things that you think is a trap, it's not a trap. I know for some of us, we've been through quite a bit, right? We've been through quite a bit in life. And you know, when someone genuinely wants to help and they're offering to help, we're kind of like, what's the catch? Like, what are you going to do? No, thank you. Right? Not everything is a trap. I think we need to realize that we've been not allowing ourselves to receive for so long, assuming that everything is a trap. And that's why it's become so hard. That's why the waters have become so thick and we've just become so exhausted trying to swim upstream. When all we had to do was get on the boat and relax as someone lets us go. Ride with them. Sinbad Lone Wolf. I've been homeless since February. No one wants to help anyone else, whatever. Well, Sinbad, I've been homeless for quite a long time too. Absolutely. I think what you're experiencing, not to kick you while you're down, is that you're seeing a reflection of the way you're presenting yourself to the world. The moment people realized that I was homeless, I was taught a very good lesson that there are still very good people in this world. Even before people knew that I was in fact homeless, stranded in a parking lot, the homeless communities embraced me. So it's not that no one wants to help anyone else. It's that there is something going on with you and your mindset that is blocking you from being moved from that difficulty you're experiencing. I can feel it off your energy. Yeah. You have that kind of energy. I don't feel bad for you. What kind of reaction did you want? You're pissed off at the world and you're projecting it on me. For what? You think I'm spiritual? I'm not. You think I'm going to be put in a place of shame and I'm going to collect funds for you? Not with that kind of attitude. You don't need to be grateful to me either. But I will not involve myself with someone who's spewing toxicity, projecting it. Now, I'm sure something has hurt you in life, something that has caused you to feel very reactive and angry. And I'm not trying to diminish that, but fuck that if you think I'm going to take it like I was the one that hurt you. This is me showing you compassion because these are things you have to hear. You deserve to be helped. You deserve to be helped. That's a statement. You deserve it. You deserve to be helped, to be held until you can stand on your own. And I've done that for many people. Many people. But like I said, When you project into your environment the types of energies you are currently projecting, it doesn't work to get people to help you. And I'm not saying you need to be like, please help me. I don't feel like people should have to beg for help. I feel like people should be allowed and encouraged to say, guys, you know what? I'm in a really tough spot. If anyone can help me in any way, I'm open to it. And then they receive the help they need. You must not know me very well. You must not know me at all. I'm as real gets. I can't be emotionally manipulated. Like I said, even with me going through my own hardships right now that I don't care to talk about, I'd be willing to help. But not when you're trying to cut me just because you're bleeding. Not when you're bleeding all over my community that wasn't even present when you were inflicted with that wound in the first place. And that's well within my right. That doesn't make me a mean person. It doesn't make me two-faced. It doesn't make me fake. I hope at some point you come back here ready to receive and ready to ask for whatever it is you need. And I hope at that point, myself and my community can help you. I know you're frustrated. I can feel it. It's not an assumption. Rewind this video. I read people. I know you're hurting. And I know it's not because of me. But today, my level of tolerance for disrespectful energy is very low. It has nothing to do with you. So now we see both of us are going through something. Both of us need community. What do you need? What area are you in? What will help you in the immediate? And what do you need in the long term? What do you need? I'm sure everyone in the community is going through something. I'm also sure that we have such an amazing community that we can come together and find a way to get you some kind of relief, at least in the short term. You deserve to be helped. You deserve to be helped. And if you're not willing or able to receive help from me in this community, I hope someone helps you very soon. It's not something where I feel like you should suffer. Like, that's bullshit. No. You're in Carson City. Does anyone know any programs in Carson City, Nevada that can provide some immediate shelter? Day 95, that's a long time to be stuck in a car. I was stuck in a broken ass RV for about 3 years. Can we come together and maybe get like 3 days in a motel room for Sinbad? If we can come together as a community and get maybe 3 days, I don't know I don't know where to start. I just don't. My brain is barely functioning today. But I mean, if we can at least prepay for like 3 days or something, just give you a break, give you a bed, let you shower, stretch out. If you guys have never been stuck in a vehicle to live in for a prolonged period, that shit hurts. Your body seizes up. It hurts. It's very uncomfortable. Whether you're on meth or not, everyone has their own coping mechanisms. Um, that's irrelevant. You're a human being. You deserve to live with dignity. You need a break from your suffering. Um, yeah, like I said, we're a community where um we're all going through something. We're all going through something, right? But this community is amazing. Where we can help, we do help, right? So maybe we can organize something. Sinbad, can you please email? Can you email us? contact@emmyevolving.com so that we can coordinate something. It might take a couple days. And it might be, we might be able to scrape together enough for just 2-3 days at a motel. I mean, nothing luxurious, unfortunately, but email us, email my team. We'll get something together. We'll figure it out. And like I said, I meant it. I cannot fucking stand that the money I am earning is being funneled to legal fucking shit rather than helping my community. I can't fucking stand it. That's okay. We'll figure out some type of short-term solution for you. Okay? I mean it. Email my team. Don't be embarrassed. Don't try and be like, "No, it's all good. I'll figure it." No. Email my team. Email us. We're going to get together a link so people can donate. I'll close the link down once we have enough for 3 days, maybe a week. Um and give you some break. Give you a break from the car. You need a break. You need a break. I can feel it in your energy. I can feel how overextended you are with trying to be patient, trying to remain hopeful. Like you need a community to hold you up at least for a couple days. And this is what I'm about. This real people, real problems, real solutions, right? It's not about any of that pomp and circumstance or clout or anything like that. Like you have a problem. Okay, we need to figure out some type of solution, right? Um, well, if we go ahead and find out what county, exact city, what area they need to stay near if they're working, you know. Oh my God. Sinbad, email us. Email us, okay? It's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. You've been getting through this. Again, you just need a little hand, a little tiny hand to hold you up for a moment. and then you'll get back up on there. Okay. Yeah. Having the car is better than nothing at all. You at least can lock your door at night. And, it's like your own little piece of something, right? It's your own little piece of something. So, all right. If you guys are interested and are wanting to help, um, definitely look for the post. I will make a post and I'll go ahead and how about this? From this point on, hold on, let me get you guys a link. Because I want, again, I told you guys before, I don't really want to just take donations from our community. I want you guys to always get something in return. How about this? For every purchase from this point forward, every purchase of the Cord Lab, that's the wrong effing link. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I believe the link is pinned. Hold on. If you guys can find the link, it's not the Cord Lab. I know what it is. Hold on. It is CCM. Oops, CCM. Comfort Care Meditation. My brain is just too much today. This is the actual link. Oh my God. Okay. Actually, let me make sure that's the link. Shit. All right. Hold on, guys. Y'all know I have brain function issues sometimes. That's the link. Perfect. Okay. So that's the link for everyone who purchases. They can be part of the live meditation. That's going to be this Saturday. And everything from this point forward, all of the purchases will go towards hotel room or motel room for Sinbad. Okay. Oh, well, even when you don't listen, you're not alone. Even when you don't listen, you're not alone. You are much stronger than you are giving yourself credit for. Hang in there. Hang in there. You're going to have a little break. You're going to feel recharged. You feel nice and clean and everything. There's something about being able to stay in a motel room after you've, kind of been stuck in the parking lot for a bit and you have unlimited hot water. Unlimited. Yeah, it's amazing. It's fucking life altering. Not even joking. It's life altering. I know Sinbad knows this, but for those of you that have never been in that type of situation, it's life altering. Even just one day in a motel room, it's like whoo, 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 whoo. So yeah, rather than prolonging it and having to wait for me to post a link, and you guys can definitely be a part of the live meditation. It's a comfort care meditation where, all the aches and pains. Sinbad, you can be my special guest for the meditation. Email so that I can get you the link to join the meditation on Saturday. But yeah, it's for people who are in physical pain, emotional pain. It's something to really work on giving you a break from the hurt. And I feel like it's perfect. It's perfect. It is something that is so divinely aligned. I'm wondering if they would, because I have an actual nonprofit. I have an actual church and nonprofit. I'm wondering if they can give us special rates as a nonprofit so that you won't have to wait beyond the weekend, Um, yeah, I would love that, Ocean. I just saw your message. I would love that. I would love that. I know actually quite a few people who work in the hospitality industry. Maybe it's time to reach out to them and see, and see. Um, oh, I know you're going through something. I could feel it. I don't hold it against you. I don't. I don't hold it against you at all. And I don't even really know why. I don't even know why I responded, but it felt like I needed to, right? And I'm glad I did, because now we can come together as a community and try and help out in some way. You know, we can't solve everything, but I'm hoping we can do something in the next couple days. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. So, innocence in reverse. We are not innocent in what we go through. We co create that. Okay. And it's not about blame, it's about recognizing if you can co create hardship, suffering, pain, you can also co create solutions, co create goodness, co create healing, enjoyment, pleasure, you know? Card number 4, build up sigil. Allowing yourself to be built up by the people who have the capacity, the willingness, the integrity to build you up, right? To get you to a place of being able to understand that you deserve. You deserve. You know, another possible solution. Hold on. Have you ever seen inflatable car beds? They cost, okay, they cost between $50 to $80, depending on the type that is gotten. That might be something we can look into as well. So get you a couple days in a couple days in a hotel room, motel room, like 3 days or so, and then one of those, so that way you can be a little more comfortable in the car. Um, Figure something out. We'll look at different options. Okay. Hold on. Let me just create a link for you guys. Hold on real quick. Okay. Um, I'll create the link right now. It's not too hard to do. Let me just hold on. I hate this two-factor authentication. Let me call him. Okay. Hey, can I get the passcode? Okay, thank you. All right, 1 second. Okay. 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 All right. I think that does it. Here it goes. All right, there it is. That's the link. The meditation is this Saturday morning. So if you guys don't have the full amount for the meditation, if you want to send more, less, whatever it is, you can go to that link. It's donate.stripe.com and all of that, all of that after. And all of those funds will go towards getting some motel time, as well as trying to find another solution, maybe some type of backseat car bed. They have inflatable kinds. Maybe they have one made of foam. Who knows? Well, my team and I will look into that, as well as looking into, some of the programs that are available in the county. Once we know more, and Sinbad, I don't want you to disclose everything publicly just to protect your privacy. Um, but let our team know. And, I have an amazing team that's very well versed in finding state aid, really helping you to get back on your feet, get in a safe space. Yes, having a car is better than nothing at all, but it's not safe these days. It's not safe these days, especially if you are all by yourself. Okay. So, it's we'll do the changes one person at a time if we need to. But the world is going to change because myself and our entire community, we're not willing to stay in this place of sadness anymore, in this space of separation and suffering, right? We're a powerful community. We are a very powerful community, and the things we've been able to accomplish together, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I gotta get going. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm feeling some type of way because this is something I should be able to just help with willy-nilly, no problem. And it makes me feel some kind of way that I am not able to, at least not right now. So rather than spewing my frustration and toxicity, I'm just going to end the live stream and just remind you guys how deeply I appreciate and love you guys. And that you deserve love, you deserve support and empowerment, even when you're not having a good day. That's what our community is about. Really reminding others that we all deserve to exist with our dignity intact, right? I love you guys. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. Let me get my emotional self off the screen. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And again, I'm just going to comment the link right there. And actually, let me hold on, guys. I can't end the live until I find the comment. I can't because I need to pin that comment. So when people go to okay, here. I'm just going to pin this. Place the pin message. And let me go ahead and pin it on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I'm so inefficient today. It's ridiculous. Inefficiency irritates me, especially when it's coming from me. Serious. Okay. Let me pin the message. Yeah. I'm so glad you commented. So glad you commented. And I'm so glad that my reactivity did not cause you to just click off. Because now we can see what we can do to help. All right. There it goes. Okay, guys. I love y'all. Have an amazing rest of your night. If you know anyone that can help, anyone in what Carlson? Is it Carlson, Nevada? Carlton, Carlinton. My brain. Could you just work today? If you know anyone in the area, um, please let us know. Reach out to us so that way, or anyone that can help in the area, anyone that knows um, possible solutions that we could try and implement, let us know. It's near Reno. Carlson. I totally let me okay. Whew. I totally even spelled your name wrong. My God. I am horrible. Hold on. I'm hoping this is the same link. Let me just comment it. Carson. What was I saying? I'm too much. Okay, so there's the link. Oh, it's the same link. Perfect. Okay, guys. Just I think someone needs to shake me. Someone just shake me real hard, real quick. Get me back in my spot. I love you guys. Let's help spread. You're not a lone wolf. You're not a lone wolf. Stop identifying as that. Okay? You're not a lone wolf. Let yourself receive. And I know you're going to turn around and you're going to help other people because I know you're a good person. Your energy is completely changed. Completely changed. You feel like an amazing person. Stick with that energy and you'll see how much goodness flows back to you. Don't believe that bullshit that you've been living through. It's an illusion that just feels real. You're going through something tough, but you're tougher than what you're going through. And you're not a lone wolf. I expect to see your name changed. No, you don't gotta change your name. I'm just being bossy. I love you guys. I'm gonna go. Bye, everyone.